Hey, what up? It's your boy Jimmy here. So I'm going to show you one of my recording tips and tricks that I used in the making of my new album, Jimmy from Thornbury, out now on streaming platforms everywhere and on Bandcamp. Now, here we're looking at the recording session for the first single, One Cent at a Time, featuring Connect Even. So what we're going to be zeroing in on here is the middle section where it goes into what I like to call the We Are the World breakdown, which is in reference to the classic We Are the World video clip from the 80s with the USA for Africa charity theme.
We're sending our love down the well, all the way down.
It sounds like this.
With just 1 cent, baby, we can make a difference. Can't get around, even though you got over 1 million listeners.
Fuck yeah, so you got this lush group singing, Live Aid, hands in the air, lighters up in the air type of vibe going on. And this is my big tip and trick. It's just a technique that I like to call the Muppet Choir. So over here you can see it says Muppet Choir, and it's just my voice recorded like 7 or 8 times and stacked one on top of the other again and again and again. But with each recording, I try to vary the sound of my voice and make it as if it was like a different character. So I'm just putting on a bunch of silly voices. So it kind of reminds me of those scenes in the Muppets where they would all sing like a song together and be like moving their heads back and forth from side to side. And each one would have a silly kind of distinct voice. And I was like, this sounds a bit like the Muppet Choir or something. Anyway, I'll cut that bit out. Right, so first of all, now I will show you what those voices sound like in their kind of raw form just after I had recorded them.
With just 1 cent, baby, we can make a difference. Can't pay the rent, even though you got over 1 million listeners.
So now we break it down. I can actually zoom in on each of these tracks. So the first one,
With just 1 cent, we can make a difference. Can't pay the rent, even though you've got over 1 million listeners.
okay, so it's sort of fairly standard Jimmy sort of singing. It's not necessarily putting on any kind of crazy voice. Now, if we go down to the next vocal part, this is where I'm starting to get a bit weird.
With just 1 cent, we can make a difference.
Oh.
Can't pay the rent, even though you've got over 1 million listeners.
Right, so that's pretty wild. I don't know, that could be sort of like Axl Rose or something like that. Someone who's just belting it out a bit more. Maybe Pat Benatar or Cyndi Lauper or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so here we've got 2 ladies singing the lady parts. That's what these sound like.
With just 1 cent,
Okay.
we can make a difference.
I think that's Janet Jackson. Oh, yeah.
Million listeners.
That's some of the ladies in the back there. Okay, so this is the low harmony. Let's see what this one sounds like.
With just 1 cent.
Was it just Teddy Pendergrass kind of thing? Or was maybe Bruce Springsteen, I'm thinking?
Million listeners.
Alright, so they're bringing the guts down the bottom. Now, the one I've got at the bottom here is just called Rando Daryl Hall Ad-Libs. Daryl Hall as in from Hall & Oates, the main singer, the blonde guy. He actually sings quite well in the original. Dude can sing, it's pretty awesome. But anyway, so I just wanted to have somebody ad-libbing some bullshit, kind of doing some riffing and kind of gospel style vocalizations over the top.
Yeah, with just 1 cent, baby.
Woo!
Oh, you know we can.
God.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So there you go. So that's your rando Daryl Hall ad-libs there. So once you smoosh all of those vocals together and you add them back in with all of the other instruments and everything else that's going on in the song, it becomes harder to tell whether or not it's actually just all one person doing it or not, or whether that's actually just a bunch of different people.
With just 1 cent, baby, we can make a difference. Can't get around, even though you got over 1 million listeners.
I think you can tell that some of them are done by me, but there's enough kind of doubt there that, yeah, you get the idea. So Why do this? Why go to all of this trouble to use these tricks instead of actually getting real people to sing it with me? Well, it's cheaper this way. No, the real reason actually relates to disability. So I'm autistic and I have ADHD. So one of the things that I struggle with is social interactions and building and sustaining relationships with people and maintaining a network, say within the music industry. So the task of organizing 8 or 10 or 12 people to come to my house as a group or at different times and to direct them in recording some group singing is effectively beyond me at this stage, most of the time. So I find another way, a way that works, at least in the comedy context, and it's a way that works for me. And I think that's my point is this is what you do when you have a disability. You find another way. You don't say, no, I can't do the same things that everybody else does. You find a way to do the same things that everybody else does, but you have to find a different way of doing it, a roundabout way of doing it, the path that's less traveled, or carve your own path to be able to get to that same destination. Yeah.